Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kume Udede, and this channel I talk about medical laboratory science, weight loss, and many other fun educative stuff. Today we are embarking on an effective journey on how to study effectively. So grab your notebooks so we can learn to study effectively. So yeah, I have a few tips on how you can study effectively and ace whatever paper you want to ace, exams, or just basically learn any stuff you want to learn by studying, right? So I put up this video together where I will describe and talk about how to study effectively. Grab your notebooks because we're about to dive deep into this interesting topic, how to study effectively. I'm going to be giving 5 basic tips on how to study effectively, and the very first one is creating a study environment. You need to create a wonderful study environment in order to study effectively. Picture this: a clutter-free, well-lit sanctuary dedicated solely to your studies. Your study environment significantly impacts your focus and your productivity. You need to find a spot that's free from distractions. It will be a corner of your room or a cozy coffee shop. You can personalize it to your liking, but remember, a clean space equals a clear mind. As you can see in the beginning of the video, that is kind of my study space in my home. When I was in school, I also had like a study space. So having a very good study environment actually elevates your mind in studying better, and I feel like that's what also helped me in school. My studying space was always very aesthetically pleasing to my own eyes. I don't know about other people, but I try to make my study space a very comfortable zone, pleasing zone for me to actually see and study. So you cannot be studying in a dirty place. Hell nah, don't do that. So try to make your study space or your study environment neat. So that's the first step, right? If your study environment is conducive, you automatically unlock a sense in you that, oh, okay, this place looks nice, I'll study more. That's how my own study space have elevated my own studying scheme. Moving on to the second, how to study effectively. You cannot do without this one. This one is very important. This is the second one, and it is time planning and management. Yeah, you got that right. You need to time and manage and plan. Now let's dive into this. Remember when they say time is a very important tool to man? It was not a lie. Time truly is important, same way as planning. So if you're able to manage your time and plan effectively before studying, then you're going to maximize. Even if it's an hour you plan to read, you will be able to cover up somebody that will even spend 5 hours in reading. So effective time management and planning will skyrocket your study effectively. Honestly, trust me. So you can time manage how you read based by what I do is drawing a timetable. I always draw a timetable for my courses. Now let's talk about the backbone of effective studying, like I said, which is time management. It's not just about putting in hours, it's about using those hours wisely. Create a study schedule that suits your reading. Use your planners or apps, anyone you can use. You could use Google Calendar, you could use Trello to organize and task deadlines. But basically for me, I know when I use apps, I'm always doing different things on my phone. So I'll just rather draw out my timetable and work with that. So I could read like maybe early in the morning from 3 to 5, or in the evening after class from 7 to 11 p.m. So you can just strategize it and the topics you want to read to, so that you'll be able to cover it faster when it's before exams are closer, right? So that's just it. Effective time management and planning will help you study better and smarter, not harder, smarter. So that brings us to the third point, and this is where the magic happens. So the third point actually is active learning techniques. I said this is where the magic happens because this is where whatever you have learned sticks.
Yes!
Yeah, so you don't want to spend hours learning and trying to read and trying to study and then it's not staying in your head. Hell nah, you don't want to do that. So incorporating active learning techniques is actually going to make whatever you are going to be studying for, is it 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, stick in your head and in your memory. And I'm telling you, wherever you are and somebody asks you something relating to what you studied, even after your exams, you are going to stand and answer them confidently. That's what active learning technique does, and that is one of the techniques I used in school that got me really good grades. So you want to be doing that, because I've done it and it worked. So active learning techniques are basically skills, are basically techniques that you incorporate during reading or during studying that helps you recall what you studied. So it could be in several ways. Like number one, active recall. That is, you just finish reading something and then you close the book and then you ask yourself, what did I just read? That's one. Two, you can do it through mnemonics, trying to make mnemonics of something that you might later need. Three is quizzing yourself. So you can actually set questions on what you just studied and ask yourself to see how good you have, how good you've studied. The fourth one could be actually teaching others. That's something I usually do and I like doing it. When I learn something new on school, other stuff, I just like to tell people about it or teach people about it. That kind of help you. There's something in the world that happens, like, is the more you give, the more you receive. So the more you give information, the more information comes to you. The more you give, the more you actually learn, right? So when you learn something and you actually try to teach somebody else, it will actually stick. That's a secret. That's an expo I used to do while I was in school. So when I learn something new, I try to teach my roommates or my friends or somebody, just a random person that maybe my junior colleague. I just want to tell them about what I just studied, and I also like my friends to teach me too. So that's a very good active learning technique. That's one way you can skyrocket your studies, I'm telling you, and it's going to help you, honestly. Like, you will not forget. In fact, even if they twist the question like this, twist and turn, because you already know it back and forth using these active learning techniques, you can answer them. And this actually you're actively working your brain. You studying is one part, fine, but then you now asking yourself what you just studied, you're actively tasking your brain, and that's a very good job. You tasking your brain is actually giving your brain more power to store those stuff. Yeah, so that's that for active learning techniques. Moving on to the next point, which is the fourth point, right? Yeah, the fourth point. So this fourth point is actually usually really hard, and I still battle with it once in a while here and there. Even as I studying, when I'm trying to focus on other things, I find myself in this same situation, and I'll be talking about it today so you can learn from it. Maintaining focus and avoiding procrastination. Should we go in? Maintaining focus and avoiding procrastination. So this one is usually very hard, because this is two things. It's the ability for you to maintain focus and to also avoid procrastination. How I maintain focus: first of all, I try to study in a quiet place, like in a serene environment. And if you don't find yourself in a serene environment, an environment that is not too quiet, move away from where people are and stay in a more secluded area, maybe like a library if your school has one, or in your room, or maybe in your friend's room if it is more quiet. Just try your best to find somewhere that you'll be more focused. I tend to talk when people are around, like in my room, and I try to study and my roommates are there. I'm getting distracted already, and there are people passing, people are entering the room. But then when I'm in the library, I feel like that place, everybody's quiet and everybody's there for a go, right, to read. So if your school has a library, you can go to the library and study there, and you're able to remove every form of distraction. Another form of distraction could be from your phone. So I tend to turn off data on Instagram, on WhatsApp, even though I will still open the app. But anyways, just try your best to minimize distractions and maintain focus. And I do that even if you can time yourself, even if it's for 30 minutes. Just stay focused for 30 minutes. Just try and learn something from that 30 minutes and watch. I'm not saying you should just go straight 5 hours like that. So that's no, man. So just at least take 30 minutes, then from 30 minutes to 1 hour, baby steps, and then you get there, right? So try to turn off your data, try to turn off your phone. If you're using your phone to browse, turn off your data for other apps and leave only the browsing on so that you will not get distracted, or put it on do not disturb so those notifications don't disturb you. It's just for an hour or 30 minutes or just 2 hours, right? Then avoid procrastination. How I actually deal with procrastination is trying to plan ahead, which I already talked about in the second point, time management and planning. So if you are someone that tends to procrastinate, try to plan your day ahead, and you'd avoid procrastination. Planning will actually help you avoid procrastination. So don't try to do big tasks in a short amount of time. Break those tasks into smaller and manageable, secure tasks that you'll be able to manage, and that way you'll be able to avoid procrastination. Procrastination actually comes when the task is quite, you're looking at it like, oh, this task is really big, I can't do it, and then let me just procrastinate. But if you're able to break that task into smaller bits, like, oh, I want to cover this whole topics, or let's take it like this. Okay, let me just cover this subtopic and this subtopic today, then tomorrow I'll cover this subtopic. That way you'll be able to beat procrastination, trust me. And I learned that from that book by Brian Tracy, and I'll be talking about the book on this channel too if you want to learn more about procrastination and time management. But anyways, that's for that. So maintaining focus and procrastination, that is number 4 tip. The last but not the least is self-care and well-being. I cannot emphasize this enough. Self-care and well-being. Do you know that your health will impact your studies? Do you know that if you're not healthy, you'll not be able to study effectively? So you should prioritize self-care and your well-being, and trust me, all your body good day. You'll be able to study effectively when you are healthy. And by doing this, you just have to prioritize self-care, and that includes you can do that by eating very well, like incorporating fruits. Study shows that fruit helps our bodies and our minds function well and properly, and even better than we have imagined. Certain fruits have special vitamins that just works wonders. And another thing that I noticed that really helped me in school was exercising regularly. When you're exercising, you become, I don't want to say smarter, you just become stronger. You're able to do things more effectively and clearly, and you have like more clarity while you're doing things. So exercising regularly, eating well, having fruits, fueling your body with nutritious food, you're just taking care of yourself. That's your whole well-being. If you're sick, you'll not be able to study now. If you're having headache, you'll not be able to study. If you are down, you'll not be able to study. So prioritize self-care, take care of yourself, and just watch how you do so well. Remember, a healthy mind thrives in a healthy body. If your body is not healthy, your mind wouldn't be healthy. So there you have it, folks. These are the secrets to effective studying. Remember, these techniques are like tools in a tools box. Experiment, mix them up, find whatever suits you, what works well with you and your schedule, and voila, mix it all up together and let's see how it works for you. Your journey to academic excellence and success starts with small steps and consistent efforts. So thanks for joining me today. If you found these tips helpful, please subscribe, like, and share to your friends who also may need this, and share to your buddies. Until next time, keep learning and stay awesome.